At first glance, the farmer's market looks rather simple, but there is more to it than meets the eye. There is a deep connection between the customers and the farmers themselves. Neither one could last without the other, so to speak. The farmers produce the crops to sell, and the customers purchase them. In short, they benefit each other. The farmer receives money for his or her hard work, and the buyer gets healthy food for themselves or for their families. When we began this project, we decided to focus more on the people and less on the food because we felt that the people were what created the farmers markets in the first place. If there were no people to come to the farmers markets, the farmers would have to search very hard to sell their crops.
His article was titled, "It All Turns on Affection." He talked about affection a lot, having affection for what you do. And would you consider what you do a passion?
In a way, it is a passion, but then there's that necessity part of it too. You have to enjoy what you do, or you're not going to succeed at it.
What would you say makes something a passion?
Just the way you feel about it. You know, you have to have that feeling.
Throughout history, you can see that the farmers markets in other cities around the world were a thriving place in the community for people to go meet and talk about business. It also helped build the economy in these places, which also created large centers of economic wealth.
I've been here several times since my time at UK, and every time it has been overflowing with many families.
The variety, lots of times the prices, and a lot of times people just prefer to have something that is locally grown as opposed to something that may be shipped into your local grocery store. You really don't have an idea of where that stuff is coming from. Not that it's not a good farm, you know, you don't know, and a lot of people like just dealing with the local people.
Do you enjoy the family-oriented, friendly atmosphere?
Yes, very much so.
We noticed that a lot of families do come to the markets, including elderly people bringing young children. We think that this is because they want the kids to experience this and see what it is like to purchase your food from someone you know who has grown it. We think that the people enjoy going to the market to buy their food because it does support the local economy, but also because they actually can see and meet the people who are distributing the food, rather than going to the grocery store where you pick it off the shelf and you have no idea who has produced it. At the farmer's market, you can meet the farmer firsthand and then get to know them personally.
There are many different people that come to the farmers market for all the different varieties of fresh foods. For example, they have fresh eggs, tomatoes, beans, berries. Not only do people come for the fresh produce, but they also come for the fresh preservative-free meats.
In class, we had a couple readings at wondering whether or not the farmers markets are dying. Our group believes that the farmers markets are not dying, but are growing. People are becoming more interested in the food that they are eating and are choosing to shop locally rather than go to the store.
you cooperate with customer demand, or are you a strict only these types of produce farmer? Like, do you take requests?
I've never been put in that situation. Usually, there's certain things that we do grow. I've really never changed what I grow just because somebody said, I wish you had this. If I had a lot of people that did ask for a certain thing, I would try it. Everything doesn't grow well in every area, so you have to kind of go with what your area can grow well.
The farmers market really hasn't changed too much over the years. It's still a place for people to meet and socialize. It is also a place of entertainment. Today you can go to markets all over the country and see performers, comedians, storytellers, and other musicians. This is because if you went to the farmers market without that, it would probably be very boring, as it was for us. But if you have entertainment, it keeps the people busy and it makes them happy to have some form of entertainment.
Is music the only kind of entertainment that comes to the farmers market?
No.
What other kinds?
There may be comedians or storytellers. Those are my favorite, the storytellers. The old gentleman that comes in telling about stories from when he was a young farmer growing up on his parents' farm. Those are the stories that I enjoy, the storytellers.
What is the best band or musician that you have heard come to the farmers market?
That's hard to say. There's so many that are so well entertaining. They're so talented. That would be hard to pick a favorite. It really would.
Musicians are generally the largest group of performers that come to the farmers markets. They are volunteers. They are not getting paid for their time there other than the tips that they are making, which shows the dedication that they have to the people of the market.
We as a group have also viewed the people at the market as being exotic in their own way. They congregate in this place to purchase goods for themselves. These goods were sown and grown by other people. It is almost as intimate relationship between producers and consumers. The people are just as exotic as the items they are purchasing, such as the pawpaw tree. Everyone at the market is different. They all have different interests, yet share one common one when purchasing local produce rather than from an industry.
Have you ever gotten into an argument with a customer over prices or over anything in general?
No.
How do you think you would handle that if someone tried to argue with you?
I don't know. You really don't know how you're going to handle certain situations until you are in that situation. Don't let things get out of hand like they can.
Have you ever seen arguments over prices?
Yeah. I mean, everybody has probably seen that at some point in time, whether it's at a farmer's market or at a Walmart. There's going to be somebody that's not going to agree with every price that's there. And sometimes it can be very childish when you do see it.
Okay, the next question is, what is the weirdest thing you have seen at the market? Just tell me a little story, don't have to be anything big.
In a farmer's market, you see all types of people come and go. You see more common people that's just like us, and then you see more of the business people that come there to get their fresh produce and stuff.
There are many kids and even parents that do not know what the most common produces are. They couldn't tell a potato from a zucchini, as Scout said. This exotic sense, not knowing what everything is what draws these people to the market.